Hello and welcome to Hayridge Model Rail. In this episode it's all about continuing the Incline and a new Christmas edition. A new year and the next part of the build. I'm going to work on covering the fiddle yard. I've got bought some batten from B&Q and I'm going to map out where the top section is going to go and put the struts in for it. Make sure there's clearances for everything, and as you can see I've already marked and drilled holes, pre-drilled, and started the screws, so I'm going to fit that in now. I've fixed the board, or the battens at the front. It's just sitting on a batten at the back at the moment, and this is a repurposed piece of 12mm ply. Come out about 11mm. As you can see, it's already been painted in a dark brown varnish, so I'm going to go over it with the grey at some point. But first of all, as you can see, it's sitting a little bit too far forward, so I'm going to have to trim it to make it go in and fit back. But that shouldn't be too tricky. But first of all, I'm going to run a couple of trains around and make sure everything clears and there's no fouling on anything. Done a little bit of testing now, and I've cut back this board. It's not absolutely perfect, but it's a lot closer, and I'm happy with where that is now. So the bracket at the back is fixed to the wall, and I've got one screw here holding this down for now, so I'll work out exactly what I'm going to do. So next job will be painting the baseboard top to the grey colour, because as much as I like the dark brown mahogany colour, it's not really going to be suitable for my needs, so that will be the next job. One of my Christmas presents just passing by now. This is the Class 42 diesel Goliath BR Green, pulling my rake of Pullman coaches. I'm very pleased with it. It's got great crawl on it. Get it going very slow. Very impressed with that. And I'm happy that I've got a nice sort of 5-6mm clearance as they go into the fiddle yard at the back. This is my first weekend to have a chance to get back up here in the loft to make a start on the next section. So hopefully today's job will be putting the risers around this bit of track and then across the back. I think, where's my hand? There it is. We're going to have the viaduct there, so it's going to start girder bridge across, viaduct as it straightens up down until it curves back around here onto the top section. And for the moment we're going to turn this into like a motive depot, steam depot. So we're going to have an engine shed and I'm not going to put a turntable in up here because the track's underneath. But yeah, and maybe a little goods siding so I can shuffle some wagons around, get the upper level working. And I think about if I can get the track straight enough down there, maybe have a little station offset before the goods yard and engine shed up here, just so that it's not all in line with everything that's already here. So that's where we're at, and now I need to make a start cutting some blocks. I've cut 8 blocks 45mm high, so with my 5mm ply for the base of the track, that will give me my 50mm clearance, my 50mm height. I've had to chop away in a few places a little bit of extra foam just to get my riser blocks in. There's the pile. So these all sit in now at 100mm roughly intervals over the girder bridge, and one just past the baseboard join, and then one just before we get onto the viaduct section, which is that bit there. So next thing to do is to get the PVA glue out and get these glued down, which is what I did before, and I was very happy with the results. So we'll get on with that. Riser blocks glued in place. We're going to let them go off now, and hopefully with them being tight into the polystyrene, that's going to make interesting to put the landscape in. It's going to make it look like the railway was there after the landscape and it was dug into it, because obviously I've had to dig into what I've put there. So I'm hoping that that's going to create a good effect. Right, my next job is to paint this grey. So I'm going to grab the paintbrush, the paint, and we're going to get on with that next. Right, so that's the section of baseboard painted. Didn't take too long. So just got to work out a track plan for up here, see how it's going to go, work out a station. Don't really want a station on a corner, it makes it awkward, so I'm going to try and get it onto a straight. We'll see where it comes. Waiting for the risers to dry, and then I can make a cardboard mock-up of the track bed so I can get that cut and fitted. So yep, it's time for a bit of a break, and we'll move on from there. Cardboard template marked and cut out, just laid into position. That's going to need to be transferred to 5mm ply and then cut out. I will add a little joining section there, but that's the same radius, so I'm just going to bring it round a little bit further, so that will line up, and that's going to get me to the girder bridge, and then there'll be a little section to go make up the girder bridge, and then into the scenery, and then the viaduct there. I've cut the board from my template and fixed it down. Been busy. Also glued on the cork track bed and painted that in the dark grey. So we are now up to the stage where the girder bridge section is going to go in next. So hopefully next few days we'll be laying the next sections of track. I'm going to attempt to put a board join here. I'm now starting to future-proof that out so that if it does need to, it will be able to come apart. So little things that will be adjusted. Some stuff's going to be more tricky than others, but it's obviously something that will need to be looked at. But yeah, I like the way the incline's gone. A bit of a tidy up, put some track, put some droppers in, and then we'll run some trains up, make sure they're working, and move on from there. Track laying on the next section of the incline has begun. And you can see just where I've got a board join and a support, I've put in a set of rail aligners. Hopefully this will help if the boards need to be dismantled for any reason. It's the first one I've tried, and yeah, it looks good. Yeah, I'm happy with how that looks. Might add another couple of solder points before I cut it. Obviously I won't cut it unless I absolutely need to, but it's there ready, which is good to know. And it's fitted in up to the buffer stop there, just to stop any trains running off while I'm testing. And then the next section will be putting in a girder bridge, and then onto the viaduct. These are all plans for 2024, before the hot weather comes along. So I'm looking forward to getting a bit of modelling done and getting some scenery in this section. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.